And we're here. So, welcome to everyone who has registered and is able to join me today. If you're watching the replay, please contact me at support@katrinayoungconsulting.com if you have any questions or if I just didn't address anything that you're hoping to find during this presentation. Please put comments in the chat box. I have left it up just in case anyone wants me to go deeper with something, anchor the learning. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and cover this 20-minute masterclass. Now, obviously, this is a freebie. This is absolute value-based, and I will therefore be making a pitch towards the end of the presentation. Actually, not a pitch. It is to invite you to so I can support you with a portal and with a self-study program that can help you on your journey to packaging and pitching your services to corporates. Now, I won't make that hours. It's just to let you know I will be doing that at the end. And now, as I said, any questions, let me know. This is a value-based masterclass, so you probably can go ahead and pitch corporates with this information today. You certainly won't be able to do the whole thing. So please bear that in mind. And without further ado, I shall now move over to the presentation. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Packaging and Pitching Your Services to Corporate Partners. So I would like to know how many of you here or watching this presentation would like to find out how you could package your services as a corporate solution. How many of you would like to find out how to craft your offer for a corporate audience? And how many of you would like to know what language you should use? It's so important to use the right language to not alienate your audience and to really be taken seriously within a corporate environment. I don't know what has brought you to this class and how you found me or this presentation, but definitely if you've been in the online space, there will be some work that you need to do in order to really update or adapt your solutions for a corporate audience. So my goal for this web class is to really let you know that there are honestly untapped opportunities allowing you to package your solutions for that corporate audience and the people who want to share my prospecting tips and strategies for securing a corporate. Now, again, I'm going to just cover my goal for this web class is really to help you to increase your chances of securing your contract, really what not to say on initial contact, and how to build an alliance with the key people. So we want to look at, really, my goal here is to give you a few tips on what to say on your initial contact, how to build alliances with departments and the key people. And as I'll just reiterate, there are untapped opportunities, and honestly, you really should be doing that. So housekeeping, we've already gone over the corporate process, just what I'll be doing. For over 19 years, I've worked as a project program manager, a PMO manager, and I split that time with marketing. So I worked as a business process and PMO analyst, really looking at setting up projects, looking at risk assessment, analysis, governance, compliance. I am a Prince 2 qualified digital project manager, and my degree is in marketing and advertising. I do have a certificate in teaching and learning, which is why I really want to make sure that this teaching environment is good for everybody. So I have successfully rolled out and been part of probably more than 300 corporate rollouts, being part of anything from sign-off, literally registering a building, to looking at thousands of proposals, to understanding why people are not able to successfully get funding. And so my purpose really here is to really kind of give you some of those core learnings, let you know some of the tips that I've used as a consultant and strategist for some of these companies that you can see at the bottom. So anything from Jaguar, BMW, Sony, Moschino. I've worked with a lot of companies over the years, as well as Persol, Miller Lite. I have a range of experience really looking at the focus group, from a consumer perspective, to understanding why a corporate would actually employ those services. And so I have a range of software experience and systems under my belt to really help you to start, scale, and grow your business. Now, whether you have a technology solution, a corporate consulting background, or coaching experience, you should be able to translate your solution for corporate. So my story, as most people will see, there has been this whole transition of leave the 9 to 5, and I had always been consulting, and in 2016 I'd been working for a major facilities company on an aerospace project, which was global, and it came to an end in 2016. And I decided, I'm just going to check to see if anyone's got any questions. No, it's not popped up. Anyway, I decided at that point, do you know what? From 2015, I was looking at the online space. One of my colleagues and friends had invited me to a group, and I was in the group thinking, what is this? You know, they sold the freedom thing, went to lots of workshops, as most of you probably have, or if you haven't, there are lots of free workshops. And I went to one called Laptop Millionaire. And, the dream was sold. I was part of that product staircase and bought into freebies, thousands of pounds on training and courses. Now, I don't think any of that was a waste. It's brought me to where I was today and where I am. And it helped me where I was then to really understand that I wanted to be in the corporate space. What I did, I made redundant a lot of my corporate practices, and there seems to be a kind of premise for lots of tactics. And so I got fed up of the noise. And after doing all the things that people had told me to do, I got to the point where I was like, I'm not getting any clients. There just seemed to be something missing. I was getting drips of clients, but it wasn't aligned to my personality profile. And this is why I teach when working with clients, there are many tactics out there. People will always give you lots of information and knowledge. I'm giving you information today. However, you really need to assess whether that is congruent with your values, your intellect, your knowledge and skills, your budget, your goals, where you want to go. And if it works with your current offerings. So many times I see coaches not have a proper diagnosis or assessment, which is why I added a caveat at the beginning of the class, just to advise you that, you will be getting all of this. It doesn't mean you will attain the same outcome. So I really want you to understand that. Anyhow, back to the story. So I realized then that I was shouting in a packed market and it was becoming annoying. And so I went back to some of my business development and sales strategies that I'd use in marketing with companies. And I visited major big buildings. So Canary Wharf, I decided to go there one day and look at major companies there. And I looked at companies that didn't have a presence within my field. And so I chose 3 services because you need to think of, they may not want or buy into the first thing that you offer. So you need to think of your current offers. You may have one offer. And is that relevant to their current pain point or problem? And so I created a quick lead generation planner, which I sell and I've passed on. And during that process, I went through a number of things. And so I would have a look first if they had any free events within that building, which could get me into the door. I then started speaking to more people and they came back with no. And no, not for my pitch, but for the services that I was offering. So I was just like, well, this is crazy. How can they not have digital solutions? It's 2016, 2017. Why don't they have this? And so After one pitch, I think it was around February, or it was just after Christmas, and I decided to step back from the online market, and I started to shift and build landing pages which were specific for corporates. I started to create decks, pitch decks, which were specific for team members. And it wasn't to alienate them. It wasn't even to pitch. It was to help them. And so what I've noticed, and what I noticed from being in corporates anyway, is that corporate partners, they're experiencing skills gaps. The market is changing, things are changing, and the traditional big teams of services, or even many other teams, are being, they're having experience in restructuring. And so after piloting this in 2016, I've been sharing this framework with my clients from 2017, and I have been doing them. Every year I have done a corporate bid and pitch since that time. Now, at the moment, they can do anything and employ your services to do anything from holding client presentations on their behalf, auditing their services to scope market opportunities. So these are things that I've done. Now, how does this apply to you? So if you are just new to me and you haven't met me before, my name is Katrina Young, and I help business owners and consultants just like you to source, pitch, prospect, prepare, and bid to corporate clients, to train and mentor you, just to help you with that process. Now, you do need skills, and they require them, and they will bring you in to deliver trainings, programs, services that are really small to medium. And really, you know, they need people just like you with your skills right now. And many people don't do that because they just think they're too small. So some people are like, you know, well, what I do, that's not relevant. And, you know, I can't do that. Now, I have serviced digital transformations. I have created and led workshops for them. I've sold support and maintenance packages since 2015, as I said. Now, corporate partners are looking for tailored training solutions. So it doesn't mean that you will go on in there, but here's the thing that I've learned, that if something works for them in their respective market, then you might be looking at competitors, you may be looking at companies in other regions, you may be able to offer white label solutions, workshops, coaching, processes, or consulting. This is exactly what I have sold. What we'll be covering here. So I'm going to give you the proven processes. Proven means it's been done. And I know other people who've done them as well, that I've used in prospecting. So prospecting, if you're not aware of that term, is really collating research and taking a step in contacting that corporate partner, and then pitching. I want to speak to you about pitching here, because most people just going with this cold pitch, and it really helps nobody. They're busy people, and it wastes their time and yours. And presenting. I say presenting because it's really important for yourself that you ask permission. Now, using your existing skills without changing your business, but just adapting your service offerings. Does anyone want that? And honestly, you can do that. You can do that in a day. Now, are you on this call? I want to make sure I'm speaking to the right people. So if this isn't you and I'm not addressing your pain points, please, you can stay and stay with me and take this information. I do not want to waste your time. I've got a message I'm going to check. Yeah, Janet wants it. So you can hear, I'm so happy. So I want to make sure that I'm speaking to somebody. I'm not on the notion of teaching a get-rich scheme. I do believe in work, and I work myself. My clients will tell you. I do get results, and this is working, and you must be passionate and know what you're doing. You must have achieved results in your service area. Now, you may not know it now, and that's why we do an assessment. This isn't a blanket program. As I said at the end, I will invite you to join the waitlist, where we will organise an assessment call. It's time away from your business or adapting your business for something that doesn't serve you or isn't a right fit. It's not where I want to be. So I want you to understand, if you've considered, or maybe you haven't considered, running lunch and learn workshops as an experience demo. If you don't know what that is, that's fine. I do teach that in my program, and that's easy to pick up. I will provide subsequent classes. Now, a corporate partner could purchase your license to your online course or allow you to host and provide a training and workshop for their executive staff members. So I want you to understand that you've probably got all of this already for them, and that basically they just need to know how to find you. You need to know how to present to them. Many do believe that they cannot pitch to corporates. Now, I want you to start with your current contacts and for those events that you've been to already. So, things that you need to consider to secure a contract. Now, many people think they're too small to pitch, and I would always invite you to reverse engineer that. So I want to give you an example. These slides are for the purpose of giving a case study. And so I was invited to Canterbury University, I think it was at the end of last year, the beginning of last year, to run a careers day. Now, this was part of an expo. It was a career expo, and I was asked to provide some information on using LinkedIn for lead generation. Now, when I was there, a very well-known bank said, look, we need you to come in. We would like you to come in to run some classes because our staff members, our executives, they're ultimately in sales, and they need to be reaching people on LinkedIn. I also met with another recruitment agency there. Not another, but there was loads of recruitment agencies. It's a career day. And they said, look, we would like to access your services. Now, they're a major fit. And I said, okay, well, I am a consultant. I run an agency. Would I be able to? So number one, problem there. I want you to understand that when you're speaking to them initially, you're not thinking at the pitching stage. You are gathering information, and you're getting as much information that you can, so that when you go away, you are crafting a pitch that is suitable for their needs and requirements. You're not wasting their time. So the first thing that I say to them is, and I'll come back to your title, but I say to them, okay, who do I need to speak to? So you do need to develop a bit of a script, and you ask, what do they do? And then you say, how can I help them? So, and then I asked, okay, so what region would that be? So she said it will be for the Kent tertiaries and regions. We have this amount of offices, this amount of staff, because then you want to make sure that your services and solutions is the right fit for that opportunity. If there are a number of deliverables, then you want to adapt and perhaps provide a training that serves that audience. Don't go in too far. And this is very agile. And I say this to my clients when working, that every corporation will have their own processes and their own, compliance and their own ways of working. What you are creating is a toolbox. And so every time that you are doing something, you're adapting, you're adding it to your process, and you're ensuring that you can do this. But anyway, the most important part that I want you to do is ask permission. And so this is what I did. And this is what started setting my pictures apart. I said, can I have the person that I contact? Because most times people are searching and doing lots of research, and they're never going to find that person. This person's an insider. You've already become now a warm lead. They're already engaging you. So you're not reaching out to them. They're now speaking to you. And so this is why I say start with current contacts by approaching departments. And I said, okay, would I be able to provide this training? And so she said, yep, send me an email. So in the first email that you send to them, you just let them know you're following up. Do it quickly. Don't leave too much time. And don't bombard them. I always do up to 2 follow-ups. If they're at the point where they're not interested or they no longer require your solutions, don't badger them. Anyway, so I say, can I request further information? Would you mind given me further info so that I could help you and secure and confirm the workshop. So you're making sure that, yes, they definitely want you. They definitely want your services and information. And as I said, you then kind of go into a little bit more detail on your solution. Then I looked at Eventbrite. So the other thing I did with corporate projects was that some corporates will sponsor events. And I looked at attendee lists, and it would have members of companies, it would have directors. I would reverse engineer that, and I would do research. Now, as well as corporates, I would look at SMEs who are working with bigger corporates. And if I contacted someone and built a relationship, I would always ask them, what events could I attend? Because I wanted to ensure that they could get to know my services or my teaching style. And I wanted to ensure that I was a good fit. And so after that, I got another 2 speaking engagements, and I was actually invited in for private education to deliver another session based on that free workshop. So you can do that, and there are different corporate partners and there are different sectors. Now, blue ocean or red ocean, if you are not familiar with this term, I really want you to do your research. Now, as you can see, there are lots of fishing rods within this ocean. Now, if you are trying to speak to everybody, then your pitch decks are going to be different all the time. You're going to have to learn different terminology. You are going to have to be going backwards and forwards, and that's not a problem. But what I found is, by doing blue ocean research, I was up to date with relevant policies, new things that had come out, things that they didn't even know yet. And I found out that by serving them, I was able to serve deeper. I want you to really think about the language that you're using. One of the biggest things, if anything, I can let you take away from today is that when you're pitching a corporate partner, there's a completely different mindset. And the mindset really is, who are you? What do you do? How can you help us? They're extremely busy. They're always behind, and they want to know that you can help their department. So many coaches that I see have these elusive titles, which are like transformational, deep healing. And at the end of the day, they may be a well-being coach. I see others with, they may be talking about confidence, or they may be a leadership executive coach, ultimately. So it's really understanding the language of your title, the language of your services and packages, really going through and doing a brainstorm. And that's the biggest thing that I want to teach you today, is that I want you to think, who do you serve and what transformation does your business provide? Who do you serve and what transformation does your business provide? I tell you this. So I had a meeting with a major brandy company, the major corporate office. And having seen my work, they found me on Medium. And this is why I'm saying that your advertising really does need to support what you do. So they wanted to understand the customer journey, and I'd written an article on it, and they brought me in. And as we were talking, I was saying that, at the time I was very much into the online space. I was speaking about being a digital, I don't know what it was. It was a title that one of my own coaches had told me to use. And this is why I want you to understand that any information that you get is always relative. I want you to have a filter and a process that helps you to determine that, is this right for you or your business? How does it sit? Does it work? So do refine it. And I have no issues with the title that I used before, but now I know my title is very relevant and it communicates exactly what I do. The last thing was, what transformation do you provide? This lady was so clear cut along the pitch panel is, okay, what does your service do? So you're a technologist then, you're a digital technologist and transformation. I already knew I was that, because when I was working with corporates, it's what I did. So I want you to really challenge yourself and look at the language that you're using for your relevant service. So I want you to think. There's been so many times that I've been extremely excited about a pitch, and you have to become very intuitive, which is learning to understand customer and selling psychology. It's one of the biggest things that helped me to transition my business is understanding the psychology of my process and what kind of results my people are wanting to achieve. You want corporate clients, which is why you're watching this. And I'm doing my very best for you to understand that you do need to have and craft an absolute process. But I want you to understand that I want you to scope and not just pitch. Don't go in there losing that opportunity. For me, what's been amazing for that is to say, as I said, okay, what do you want? Find out what they want and how you can serve them. Scope, don't pitch. It's been my biggest bit of my biggest brainwave or my biggest reflection since pitching. When you scope, you give them the opportunity to really think about this. So do ask leading questions and establish the key person to talk to. The worst things that I've done is have amazing engagement and gone, backwards and forwards with this person who's definitely not at the higher level or strategic level and able to make a decision and definitely isn't the budget holder. And they've been like, really, yes, it'd be great to bring you in. And I'd be like, okay, so, what do I do? Okay, you need to speak to. That means you have to go through that all again. So do establish the person you need to speak to. Scope, as in ask questions. Kind of scoping questions are, what kind of solutions are you looking for? Oh, okay. How long are you looking for? Okay, what type of people do you want this made for? Because this allows you to be very targeted in your pitch. So I challenge you to gather as much information as you can and ask permission. Ask permission is the biggest thing, as I said. Say, can I? Because then if you send an email, and please don't send an email with like so much storage that they're like, oh, I'm not interested. So a PDF, I really do suggest a PDF, which tells them and gives them information, like click here, which has embedded videos, which are then stored on YouTube or something, or Vimeo, so they don't have to download this. They still don't know you. Make it easy for them. Now, here comes my offer, as I said. Now, what would it be worth to you if you were able to access these untapped opportunities, really allowing to package your solutions for your corporate audience? And I have done this. I've created a portal and a self-study program. It's a resource on how you can use a researcher to pitch on your behalf if you don't know what you're doing. I can provide you with pitch and preparation, and I can advise you on the deal and license packaging that will really help you to service the gap analysis best practice. So gap analysis is ultimately looking at what they have already and how you can fit yourself into that budget without them thinking, we don't have that money for an additional service, we're not interested. I can show you the business opportunity research and really share best practice. I do, and they're very quick because I know you're business owners, but they're best practices for tender procurement. So today, if you are interested, I'm selling nothing. I want you to join my wait list. I'm taking action and I've put this together, but I'm still working with corporates and it's busy work. And so I invite and open up this to those who are ready to do the work. And there will be an assessment call. So I will give you further details today, and there's nothing else to do. You just have my time. So corporate consulting will give you information. I'll give you processes. There are some trainings. There's demos. Here, look, I even give you the questionnaire. So remember when I said to you, scope, don't pitch? Here's a scoping questionnaire. Before you even begin to build your pitch, they should be giving you information that you should use. And I've given you that. Now, remember I said about selling your license program? Here, I give you the run through of a fictionary business model, which will give you at least 3 ways to monetize your services to get into a corporate. So that is really helping you to process and modularize your system and framework. I give you templates, I give you tools and best practice. this is what you get and this is what you walk away with. So you're going to understand how to build your pitch to engage your corporate partners into recurrent engagements, strategies to win tenders, as well as understanding the corporate requirements and needs. Now, this is what I said. I wrote a pitch and a blog about this and a post, which said it's not so easy, that you want to make sure that, there are people who've been crippled by engaging corporates because they were not financially ready or stable to engage the corporate. They didn't understand the payment terms. They didn't have a service level agreement in place and didn't know that. I want to talk to you about understanding the right questions. So you do have the opportunity to upgrade to my VIP, where I go through your pitch deck. I do this with you. I actually do some of this with you, as in actually crafting your pitch deck. I coach you. You have 4 one-to-one sessions with me, and you're able to upgrade if you want. Now, if you want to get started, you are so welcome to join me and join that waitlist. And if you have any questions now, I will sit here for 5 minutes. And I'll sit here for 5 minutes while you think of your questions and put them in the box. And if not, if you do have any questions post this, or if you're watching the replay, please send them to support@katrinayoungconsulting.com. I'll come back to you. I'm happy to serve. I know what it's like to be in a market that's noisy, to be struggling to make money. And it's not always the best fit for your personality. So I really want to challenge you to move forward. Wherever you are right now, there is opportunities. So, as I said, I'll watch the question box. And if not, thank you so much. And I wish you every success with corporate consulting. Hey, thanks for watching. Now, remember, on this channel, I share all tips, tech, marketing, business, sales funnels, lifestyle, everything to help you to start, grow, and scale your business. Thanks for your time. And again, if you would like any topics, do not hesitate to contact me below. Thanks again.